pleasure to now invite Professor Ranjana Arora, who is the Head of Curriculum Studies and Development at NCERT in Delhi. A little brief about her. She started her work from the Regional Institute of Education in Ajmer in 1997, and over the past over 2 decades, she's been deeply involved in teacher education and very closely involved also in the formulation of curriculum frameworks, syllabi, books, and training packages published by NCERT. And she's also been very actively involved in preparing the new NCF 2020 for foundational stage as well as for the K-12 education. Professor Arora, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And if I could invite you to take center stage. One of the first questions we'd like to ask you is how satisfied are you with, the NEP 2020 implementation, especially in school education? How do you think so it's going?
Okay. Thank you for asking this wonderful question, and I really am very thankful to EducationWorld to invite me here, and also to Dr. K. Kasturi Ranganji, who has nominated me to attend this session. Yes, now it is 2 years of NEP 2020 implementation, and if you ask me from NCERT side, and of course from Ministry of Education, I am really satisfied because we are gradually moving towards the implementation of NEP 2020 in school education. Okay. And if you want to know that some of the initiatives which we have taken recently, then as all of you know that NEP 2020 has recommended 4 national curriculum frameworks. This is the first time it has been recommended. So one national curriculum framework for ECC, early childhood care and education, which is very, very important stage. We all see that policy has recommended a shift from 10+2 to 5+3+3+4 curricular and pedagogical system of education. So, to address this shift, national curriculum framework for early childhood care and education, then school education, then teacher education, and adult education. So we have brought out national curriculum framework for the foundational stage. You can see that 20th October we have launched that, and now we are moving towards national curriculum framework for school education. And the debate which just taken prior to this session, I must say that some of the answers national curriculum framework for school education will also give. Because when I heard that panelists are talking about giving weightage to the marks of boards into the university entrance examination system, then there is also a question of holistic progress card, which policy is proposing. And we are thinking of giving weightage of school-based assessment to the board examination. And then from board examination to the university entrance, if that can happen, it would be very, very good for our students. Okay. So I'm very satisfied.
You're satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now you're preparing, NCERT is deeply involved in preparing the NCF for school education. Yeah. So we have our audience today is school principals, school promoters, and educators. If you could highlight what would be 1 or 2 distinguishing hallmark features of this new NCF 2022 for school education.
Of course, actually we all are concerned with education here. One important features which we are now discussing and taking care of that, this flexibility at the secondary stage. Now it would be 4-year secondary stage we are recommending. So now there will be no higher secondary stage and secondary stage separately, but there is secondary stage of 4 years and maybe phase 1 and phase 2. So now discussion is on whether we should provide general education up to secondary education or class 9th and 10, or we can start bifurcating or giving flexibility to choice of subjects to students from class 9th onwards. So there are debates and there are discussions on that. So one of the good features of this curriculum framework will to sort out this debate, and we will come out with recommendation that what we need to do at phase 1 and phase 2. And of course, there will be entire pedagogical approaches for taking care of different subjects. That would be there, that would be a feature. And at foundational stage also, we have kept in view that it should empower our teachers as far as curriculum and pedagogy is concerned. And another feature we are thinking of reduction in content load, not curriculum load. We are thinking of reduction in content load so that children will get opportunity to learn through experiential learning and many other things.
Okay. Also, another important question I want to ask you is, I mean, the last NCF was done in 2005. But unfortunately, though it was a great document, visionary, far ahead of its time, we never saw NCF 2005 really translate into, implementation in schools, whether it was in textbooks, teaching, learning materials, pedagogies. How do you see this, what's the future for NCF 2022 for school education? How will it be translated actually into the nation's 1.5 million classrooms?
This is very good question, I must say that. And we also had felt at NCERT that NCF 2005 had not been percolated down to the grassroots level. And that's why what we did this time, we had taken bottom-up approach. Prior to making of this national curriculum frameworks, all the 4 frameworks, we have had a great discussion at the grassroots level. So till now, we had conducted 600 district level consultations. And in this district level consultation, around 1.5 lakh people participated, parents, students, teachers, teacher educators, experts, new literate, non-literate, everyone participated, and we came out with 1500 district level consultation reports. And then also we created focus groups at the state level, and they have come out with their position papers, 25 position papers across the states they have done on various themes related to policy, whether school education, higher education linkages, whether value education, whether science education, mathematics education, and analysis of all these documents are now leading us to take our decisions and for this national curriculum framework for school education. So even prior to the national curriculum framework for school education, we have prepared our states, and now the stage is set up for rolling out national curriculum framework for school education whenever it will be ready. And then of course NEP 2020 has clearly said that states can have their own curriculum based on the national curriculum framework. They can adapt, they can adopt even the textbooks and syllabus.
Okay.
So this is the this is the thing we have taken care of.
One last question. When the NEP 2020 policy was formulated, a big complaint of the private school sector was that not a single representative of theirs was on the drafting committee. So I want to find out from you, when you're preparing NCF 2022, how many private school consultations have you held?
In those kinds of consultation, district level consultations and at state level consultation, we have asked states to invite teachers and principals from private schools as well.
Okay.
So there are good representation of those schools in that. Okay. So it is not like that, and we will also take care of this in further consultation. And moreover, we also held consultation in universities. 8,000 people had participated, and when I was in IGNOU, there were many private schools who had participated in that consultation.
Okay, so you're optimistic and hopeful that, you know,
Yes.
NCF 2022
Yes.
or 2023 will bring out, you know,
Yeah.
it'll be an inflection point for our Indian school education.
True.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Arora, for sparing the time.